Hi everyone, welcome to the Envelopes Emmy Chat Series. I'm Yvonne Villarreal, and today we're talking to Kathryn Hahn. I say Kathryn.
Kathryn, I prefer.
Kathryn Hahn, who is up for supporting actress in a comedy for her role as Rabbi Raquel in Amazon's Transparent. Thanks so much for joining us.
Oh my God, my pleasure. Happy to be here.
How did you celebrate? Have you celebrated? Has there been like a Pfeffermans style dinner, anything?
I know we have to. Well, I'm going to go see Jay's premiere tonight of his show.
Room 104?
Yeah. I'm really excited to see. And apparently it's at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, which is going to be really fun.
That's scary.
I know. Apparently it's an amazing place to watch films. I'm really excited to see it. No, I was in literally like an exercise class in
You
Silver
were in
Lake.
an exercise class?
I
Where
managed
at?
Pop Physique in Silver Lake.
I thought Yaz. Is it Yaz or Yaz?
I do love a Yaz
Yes.
class. Yaz.
Yeah.
But this was a pop physique class because I just was like, you know what? I think it's going to be better for like my soul if I just get in my body for an hour and just breathe, and then like let the just manage.
It's very Raquel of you.
Manage.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Although I don't know if she'd go to a pop physique class.
No, probably not.
And then I came out to like a bunch of. It was like one of those like crazy, hilarious like stories that you read about. It was so exciting and delighted. My husband was so excited. My long-time agent was crying. It was really sweet. So unexpected that it was a really fun day.
Made the sweating worth it?
Yeah, but then I had to kind of like walk around the rest of the day with like a kind of a thin sheen of pop sweat.
Or the Emmy glow. It's the Emmy glow.
The Emmy glow.
But are you glad that it wasn't like, I have to hear about this at 5:30 a.m.? Did you like the laterness of it?
Yeah, I mean, yes. I've never really been like this is all kind of new. So I just was like, oh, I'm not going to go to a class and hang, just kind of manage any kind of expectation, but it was still, I mean, are you kidding me? It was crazy exciting. It took a while to like kind of filter through. And then I was in like, I think illegally parked for like a long time just checking my phone.
Does your husband now refer to you as Emmy nominee?
Yeah, I've asked to be referred
Everyone?
to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about season 3 of Transparent. What were your first thoughts when you opened the script and saw that Raquel was going to be leading us in with this monologue about faith?
Yeah, I talked to Soloway about the year before after season 2, knowing that we were gonna see Raquel a lot more in season 3, and I was so excited. I didn't quite know how, and I knew that there was a lot of unfinished business between Raquel and Josh, and I love that cast so much, all of them, and yeah, that was a crazy exciting first episode. Her practicing her sermon in the temple. Yeah.
Was that did you have any idea that Jill was planning to start it off that way?
I mean, not before reading it, but I loved how it tied into the Tamora's story, kind of like we finally get through the wilderness, and now we're at the desert, and now what? It's like I finally arrived at who I am, and now what? So I think that all the characters kind of have go on that journey in season 3, for sure. It's hard to quit those Pfeffermans, for sure. And I'd say Raquel, even Raquel is like a pretty a solid human being. I think a really decent human being. Her head is screwed on pretty straight, and I think even for her, it's hard.
Well, talk about the journey we see of her in season 3. I mean, she's had to put this chapter, like the Josh, the baby, sort of like, I need to just put that away. I don't know how to deal with it, but talk about seeing her go through that grief, the mourning, and questioning.
Well, I think what I also had a hard, I think we all wrestled a lot with like why I opened the door to Sarah Pfefferman at the beginning. Like, well, how could she not just cut off that family after we see how things had been ended with the miscarriage and with Josh. And she's a rabbi. You're not going to close the door to anybody that is asking for a spiritual guidance of any kind, no matter who they are. Like it would go against everything that she believed in. And I think that there is something so seductive about any of those Pfeffermans. Are so charismatic, and I think of course, even though there's a big part of her that I think Raquel that is like this danger, she couldn't help it. And of course, her gut was proven right by the end of it.
By the end
of course,
of it.
yeah.
Was that like exhilarating seeing her sort of
Do you know how fun
let out?
Well, I think it was Shira Piven directed that episode, who I love. And I love her work, and so that was also very exciting. We'd never worked together before. I think it was her first time on the show as a director, and that was it was so satisfying for all of us just to have a second of just telling it, just
Person
letting it
like
out.
A sailor.
Yes, yes. Well, that's what I love about every human in this show that Jill created, is that it is, everyone is so human. Like there's no one is sainted or there's no. The first episode of Raquel was, or maybe it was the third, was called The Symbolic Exemplar. Which talked about how we put some of these so often we put like a religious figure on like this pedestal. Yeah, and are not able to really get in. So even if and I talked a lot to the Rabbi Susan Goldberg, who was kind of like my mentor doing this. And who's an incredible brain, a beautiful human. But she talked a lot about that, about other rabbis that she had known, about not having a place to go with their own crises, or crisis, not even just of faith, but just like
who do you turn to?
Yeah.
So how has Susan helped you? Did you stay in communication with her
yes,
as
a
the
lot?
show progressed?
Yeah, and it was not a lot of she would come sometimes and walk me through a ritual, or just walk me through a prayer, walk me through the Hebrew, very gently. But it was more just spending time with her. I think that was my way in, more than trying to just put on. It wasn't as hot to me to learn Hebrew or read the Torah, or try to slap on something that I couldn't. I just didn't have the life behind it to give it that kind of weight that it deserved or that it needed. And so for me, the way in, was, I'm a recovering Catholic from Ohio, was I think first through her physical, through her eye contact and her stillness. And that was kind of my way in for Raquel.
Did you find yourself, though, thinking a lot about the Jewish faith and what that all entails?
Yes.
And
all
of that?
My husband is Jewish. I went to Catholic school my whole life, but there is something about having a personal relationship to your God that is really interesting to me, especially now as a mother of two, in her 40s, just kind of looking down the barrel of it and thinking yeah, of course, that what is that personal relationship to God? And the idea of asking, what would turn me on the most about it for me was also just the questions, the constantly asking of questions as being a part of your path was really interesting to me, and that would be met with not an answer, that just to live in questions, I thought was also really, really moving and resonated for me as well.
Because what speaks to you about the character of Raquel and the journey that she's been
her
on?
Her humanity, her flawed. I just love that you just see this religious figure that is, not only has a vagina, but she is sexual,
which on its own already is something we don't see often.
Has unmarried, has is not always. It's not she's always on the straight and narrow in terms of gossiping or she's flawed and messy, but she also is such a good person, and she's she's really struggling to maintain that, and I have such respect for her, for sure. I feel such a mess compared to Raquel.
Are you how do I measure up to Raquel in real life?
A moral and actual disaster.
Is she your subconscious now? What would Raquel do?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've seen
WWRD. I had to really think about that too. That's so sad. I was
it's there.
Okay.
We saw Shelley sort of be on her own journey of this one-woman show, but I really now want to know what a Raquel one-woman show would be like.
Me too.
Would it be a comedy, a drama? What would it be called?
I mean, what's interesting, Jill and I were just talking about this the other night. We actually had shot for episode 1 that never made it in, which I think would just be...
Tell us.
We had shot this whole kind of dance that Raquel just kind of like dances it in the temple, I think to a Sia song, like all over the pew, just lets it out. It's like, it's so, I don't even know what the context was. She was thinking of maybe like splitting it throughout the first episode, but there was like a full routine that I made up. I mean, it wasn't like choreographed.
You made it up.
No, I mean, it was improvised.
Okay. Yeah, as you
I wasn't like 5, 6, 7. No, but we kind of like improvised this dance in the temple. We were in an actual temple downtown, this beautiful, beautiful space. I think the first temple in Los Angeles. And it was so fun. I was like in sweat. It was like your own pop physique class. Yeah, it was my own pop physique class. Foreshadowing.
Thank you. Yeah. But so did she tell you why it didn't make it in?
I mean, I think maybe a lot of reasons that it did not make it in. I don't know. I'm still hoping that there will be some music video out there at some point.
Maybe like, I know.
I felt like Chris Walken in that, like, was it the Chemical Brothers?
No.
Fatboy Slim.
Fatboy Slim, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Thanks.
We'll do a mashup, maybe.
We should do a mashup.
That'll be our social
It felt like
media.
that vibe, kind of like, I'm not a dancer, but I'm really just feeling it, you know. It was so fun.
We'll talk about this relationship with Jill, who you call Soloway, which I love. You guys work together.
She calls me Han. So awesome.
Well, you guys worked together on Afternoon Delight back in 2013, and you obviously now star in her other Amazon series, I Love Dick. And this all started because she spotted you at a farmer's market, right?
Apparently. Yeah.
She never went up to you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we always laugh about there's an amazing, we're in Silver Lake, there's like this, and a lot of the farmers markets, do you know the pupusa lady?
Uh-huh.
The best pupusas
on
the planet, so apparently it was in line with the pupusa. But she'd also seen me, and I guess I had a small arc on a show called Hung, in which I played a very pregnant woman that was, hired the services of Thomas Jane. Late term.
Sometimes you need it. Yeah.
Inducement.
Yeah.
I knew that the script was around. I knew she had asked me to read it. I knew there were like a bunch of other people that were like circling, and I just wanted in so badly, Vaughn. Oh my God. I was shooting something in New York at the time, and Skyped with her. We had a Skype session, and it was my first Skype session. So I had to put something over because I was like, you can see yourself during it too? This is a nightmare.
You're like,
why did I brush my hair? Why did I brush my hair? But we just kind of fell instantly in love, like to the same kind of like, you could, like, I do, that is something I really respect about Jill Soloway, is that they find like something about every person that is uniquely, it doesn't have to do with a resume or like she just like listens to their gut, and she usually I'm telling you, the people that are on this crew that are in this cast, like I want to cry thinking about them. Like they're such beautiful, decent human beings, and so yeah, she took a real gamble on this one. I had never been a lead in anything before, and certainly not in anything that wasn't like, big swing comedy. So this was like, I am forever grateful for that. And it was a really blessed 3 weeks. We did it like, I think 3.5 weeks in Silver Lake.
Wow.
Used my minivan because we realized very quickly that the car that they had rented for the character was not big enough to hold a camera. So I had my hot Honda Odyssey. Was featured in it.
Come in handy someday.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I was finding like crushed water bottles and Power Bar wrappers in the like seat pockets for so long after. That was sweet.
Adding to the realness. So talk about why you kept coming back when she would call. I mean, talk about how you felt like you were challenged or how you evolved as an actor through working with her.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It was like there's that experience, that feeling of exploration and that feeling of safety is so hard to come by when you're an actor for hire. Like there is something of like, especially the parts that I had been like gratefully asked to do, where you kind of walk in and stand in your mark and you're a guest in someone else's world, or is
usually a man's world.
Yeah. And that it is hard to, in those parameters, you feel like your job is to kind of please people or make it feel like, and in this it's just the exact opposite. Like it just feels like this world is built for us to play in, and so you don't feel like you're screwing up, you know, or you're not driving home at the end of the day like, oh, I didn't get it. Like I know they were looking for something and I couldn't find it, because there is just never that feeling of failure, and I think it's deeply funny. Like it doesn't feel like serious business all the time. It just feels true. And I love improvising, and I like improvising in a world that where it's grounded in something. I'm not like a improviser, like a sketch improviser that I'm like in awe of. But when it's grounded in something true and character based, then I love that feeling. When you're like swimming with somebody else in that, I love that feeling.
Well, talk about too what it's like on the set and how that feels initially, because I remember, I think I was on set for the finale of season 3, and yeah, with the ship. Yes, I was.
But did you see her get it? Oh.
But it was like so
goddess.
It was so calming and like relaxed. It didn't feel so like.
Yeah.
But talk about being on that set and the box.
Oh, the box. I mean, no, she's like, you know, that's a big point where she says, like, you know, most things you're just worried about time, money, and light. And she's like, I just want the mantra to be like, we have all the time in the world. You are the light. Let's not worry about like, just so that you just feel like there is not this crazy pressure to like get it. That and it's different because in some birds you have to, like I get it, but in this bird there's when you can crack past those feelings of just like getting it, there's something on the other side that's like deeper and funnier or whatever it can be, or not. But hence maybe my dance in the temple. But like there is but there is something about the exploration that you couldn't get to those other places if that wasn't able to happen. You know what I mean? It's hard to, you know, I think, I don't know, I think there is something called The Box that we started. It was not an afternoon delight. It happened somewhere during Transparent. And it's literally an Apple box. Now it's been signed by everybody that's been around any of those sets. And usually it's the day before somebody's kind of tapped out to say something the next day. They don't have to. You know, it's no pressure and no one has to. But it is just a moment for the cast and crew to gather before they start the day, just to kind of come together. And so it could be like a song or something funny or like a joke or an observation or an apology or like it's just a way of like, in my mind, you know, I was always so aware of like actory stuff, like so like, you know, I'd get like embarrassed, like the Midwestern in me. In me is always like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But there is something about it just becomes like an equalizer, like it just becomes like a democracy, a true one, because there is no hierarchy between cast and crew. You know, we're all in this circus together. Like, we couldn't do our job, you know what I mean, if they weren't setting up the tent. Like, so we're all, it just feels like we're all making it sets an intention for the day of what we're trying to achieve. And because of that, I feel like it moves smoother, like communication is more open, like, you know, the days are never crazy long. Like I don't know.
I mean, especially with Trump's recent transgender military policy, like, has there been any, like with the transparent community?
Can you believe it?
Yeah. Like, has there been any text chains or emails from the Transparent team, like, talking about what can we do?
It just happened yesterday.
Yeah. But do you feel like, and especially like a
call
for action?
I mean, I think we're all still like, but yeah, it's insane. Like what Colbert said was like true. It's like it went from crazy to cruel. Like, this is insane. The people that are willing to put their lives on the line to protect us as Americans, to, you know, I mean, it's appalling. It's appalling. It's a terrifying moment for sure.
How has being on the show, like, opened your view or changed how you, I don't know, view things or think about things?
Oh.
Because I know when the show first premiered and I had to write about it, I was super nervous.
Yes.
I was like, I want to make sure I have the terminology right.
Yes, I remember. I had that feeling too. I had a hard. There was definitely because it was all brand new to a lot of us. It's like, yes, I definitely had some pronoun like, just confusion or mishaps. I think we all did, but that's okay because I was so learning, and I was just so buoyed that the discussion was happening, that was okay to be like honest. The fact that there was like that we could all come together with like care and realization that there was like a civil rights issue that was happening. There is something about this show that has cracked me open, and I'm sure a lot of people would say this in it, of just like what is like real kindness and really being an empath, really being able to step in someone else's shoes. I'm a parent too. So like, what kind of world do I want those kids to grow up in, and how do I want them to feel about who they are? And it's, it's imperative. Like, I want to cry thinking about it. I love this group so much, and these amazing humans that I have been blessed enough to call my pals. What they have gone through is like, you can't wrap your mind around it, to be who they are. And obviously have so long to go. There's like a huge step backward with that stupid rash tweet that you just want to be like, I thank God that so many of us have been able to be cracked open from this show and so many things.
How has also, having Amazon as the platform and Jill as the storyteller, not only with this show, but now with I Love Dick, just talk about being in an era and you being in shows where these types of stories can be told.
We were thinking, we kept, even like, whatever, when we did Afternoon Delight, even a little bit after that, like, there was no way that I Love Dick would have even been.
Just the title alone.
Yeah. Even Transparent, though, like, if it was like a perfect moment and a perfect place to put it, because I think it had been kind of around. She kind of took it to a bunch, and I think that storytelling, especially in these mediums like the internet and this, is going through like a crazy exciting moment. It is so weird to think, like, even doing publicity for I Love Dick, it was interesting to see who would say it, who would say it. Yeah, it was interesting. But and it totally took me a second too. Like, I had two young kids.
Yeah.
Like, to watch the security guys like at the studio be like, "You're here for ILD?" Like, I was like, "Yes."
Well, when they sent the screeners, I would have them out, like, because I have to watch them. And my mom came over and was like, "What?" I'm like, "It's a show."
It is an amazing title.
It's great.
Yeah, it is. It is like, and she really, that Chris Krause really was handed a gift. And that gentleman's name was Dick.
Was your husband okay with it?
Is he okay with it? I'll tell you, the screening, it's always, he knew what he was getting into for sure, but it's always, when we were at the premiere, we just kind of locked eyes the whole time that any sex scene was happening. We're just like,
yeah.
Like, we just locked eyes with each other, because I was like, don't look at it. Just don't look at it. Just like, let it.
But then what do you do about hearing it? That's sometimes just as bad.
We just, you're just like, you're describing a horror film, which it might be for a spouse.
For a spouse, it is.
Yeah.
I can't not let you go without asking you about the sequel to Bad Moms.
Oh, yeah.
What can you tell us? Obviously, it's taking place during Christmas time, right?
Yes.
Which
is perfect. I think we were so excited that was like, it was the perfect time of the year. It just seemed like, of course, when are the mamas going to need to go to get out of the house for a second when they're so busy making magic for everybody else? We just shot it minutes ago, it feels like, and there's a trailer out already. It's like happening very, very fast, but we're all really, really exciting.
Well,
trailer looked funny. I was so excited. It looks
I need
great.
to watch it. I haven't seen it. We're going to end with a lightning round of questions.
Great.
Okay. So be ready.
I am.
It'll be more stressful than the dancing. What was the last show you binge watched?
Oh, well, I'm in the middle of The Keepers right now. Light. Pardon my French. I have two. Oh, God, sorry. I have two more to go. And I'm just like, my husband and I are
like. Have you gotten to the vagina wrapped in a newspaper yet?
No.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, but that's
now
forever in my...
I know.
How could that not be a spoiler?
It's not, actually.
Okay. We're in around like Brother Bob.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If you could go back and...
And Handmaid's Tale. I also binge watched that. I mean, binge watched as much like, right? Because it was like kind of amazing to be able, and you kind of needed to wait each week. Yeah. But I loved it, yeah.
If you could go back and be on any classic show, what would it be?
Oh, I mean, right now, Golden Girls.
That's a good one. Who would you play?
Estelle.
What was your first acting job, and what did you learn from that you're still using now?
My first acting job was I played Salty the Psalm Book. P-S-A-L-T-Y. Salty. Salty, the Psalm Book. And I wore a cardboard psalm book, and which my arms were stuck out of. And
what lesson was there?
What lesson did I learn? What lessons did I learn there? But you know what? You don't have to say yes to everything. That's what I learned. That no is very powerful.
Have you gotten to a place where you feel like you could say no?
Yes, and then feel panic.
Which character in Bad Moms do you relate to most as a mom?
Oh, as a mom? Probably, I would say more Mila. Probably Amy. Yeah. A little bit in the middle. Just like kind of always feeling like you're 5 steps behind and never, ever feeling like you've crossed everything off your list. For someone as OCD as myself, it's a nightmare.
Okay. Most useless talent that you have?
Great parallel parker.
Really? Mm-hmm. You have to teach me. I'm so bad
I'm really
at it.
Like weirdly good. It's like got it in one. And everything else I'm like a mess.
No.
Sometimes it's just like, it's weird. Now I'm saying that now and I've jinxed it forever, I'm sure.
I get super
would
paranoid.
Line it up. I know what you mean. So I do line it up. But I'm just, for some reason, that's one thing I can say.
My car has the video, and I don't like that. It makes me more paranoid.
Oh my God, do you know what my son did to our video, which I thought was brilliant? He taped a army figure onto the, so when I put it in reverse, it looked like there was an army guy. Like, it was so clever.
Is it still there? No.
It's very dangerous.
Have you ever used a line from one of your comedies in real life?
Oh, gosh. No.
No.
Not really. I'm not like... That'd be amazing. If I couldn't get into a restaurant and I was like... And they were like, still not getting in.
Well, thanks for being here.
On that note.
How do the Transparent team do award shows? Like, what are you looking forward to on Emmys?
I love this group. This group is, first of all, I love spending time with these people so much, and I just love them all so madly that even just to have any excuse to get together is just a ball. I mean, they are the best. They're having like bagel mornings all the time. Like, it's a great group of people, so I'm really excited to see them all. I'm going to see a bunch of them tonight at Jay's premiere, which will be nice.
Who are you most excited to meet at the Emmys?
Oh, there's so many people. There's so many.
Who do you want to be in line with in the restroom or something? That's where it all
Gosh,
happens.
I know. God, who would it be? I mean, there's so many. I'd like to those documentarians for the Keepers. I have some questions. Elizabeth Moss, I can't wait to be like, you. Oh, so good. She's so good.
Well, you're so good, and thanks for being
Thank
here.
you for
Congratulations.
having me. It's such a pleasure.
And thank you all for tuning in. If you want to check out more of our chats, head over to latimes.com. Thanks.
Thank you.